The story of Dhul-Qarnayn, a figure mentioned in the Qur'an, is one of grandeur, justice, and wisdom. His name, which translates to the one with two horns, has been a subject of curiosity for centuries, with various scholars and historians trying to unravel the mystery behind this enigmatic king. The name itself does not literally refer to horns on his head, but to the vastness of his empire, which stretched in both directions of the earth, resembling the shape of a ram with two horns. Alternatively, some interpret the title as referring to the two crowns he wore, a symbol of his rule over multiple territories. Others suggest that it may represent two distinct periods of his life, one as a conqueror and the other as a ruler, with each period marking a major phase of his power and influence. The story of Dhul-Qarnayn was initially brought up by the Jewish scholars in Medina, who were familiar with the king from their own religious texts. They asked the Quraysh of Mecca to inquire of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about this figure. The Quraysh in turn questioned the Prophet, and Allah revealed the details of Dhul-Qarnayn's journey through the Qur'an. The story, as narrated in Surah al-Kahf, sheds light on his character, his travels, and his encounters with various peoples, illustrating profound lessons in leadership, humility, and justice. Dhul-Qarnayn was a powerful and just king, a ruler who wielded great authority, but also carried the wisdom and responsibility of ensuring fairness and righteousness in his rule. With divine guidance, he embarked on 3 significant journeys, each of which exposed him to different peoples and challenges. The first journey took him to the westernmost point of his empire, where he came upon a people living in a place where the sun appeared to set into a murky, black spring. This location is often interpreted as the furthest known part of the world at the time. The people there were living in ignorance, unaware of the guidance of Allah, and Dhul-Qarnayn was faced with the option of either punishing them or treating them with kindness. He chose the latter, offering them the opportunity to embrace faith and righteousness. Those who accepted would be rewarded with kindness and mercy, while those who rejected would face severe consequences, as their deeds would be accounted for by Allah. His second journey took him eastward, where he encountered a people living in extreme conditions, constantly exposed to the sun, with no shelter or protection from the elements. These people had no knowledge of how to build homes or tents, instead spending their lives in caves and dens of the mountains, or enduring the harsh weather without any form of refuge. Dhul-Qarnayn, using the resources granted to him by Allah, offered assistance and help to these people. He did not exploit them or use his power for personal gain. Instead, he worked to alleviate their suffering and to improve their lives. The third and final journey of Dhul-Qarnayn led him north, where he encountered a people who spoke a language that he did not understand. These people were vulnerable to the attacks of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, wild and barbaric tribes that lived beyond the mountains. The people pleaded with Dhul-Qarnayn to help them by building a barrier to protect them from these invaders, offering to pay him a tribute in exchange for his protection. Dhul-Qarnayn, however, refused their offer of payment, explaining that the resources he had were more than sufficient to meet the task. Instead, he requested their assistance in gathering the necessary materials. The people provided him with iron, and Dhul-Qarnayn instructed them to help him build a strong and sturdy wall between 2 mountains. This wall was constructed using large blocks of iron and copper, and it was so thick and resilient that it could neither be climbed over nor breached. It became a powerful symbol of protection for the people, safeguarding them from the dangers posed by the barbaric tribes. Despite the strength of the wall, Dhul-Qarnayn was aware that nothing in this world is eternal. He reminded the people that the wall would eventually collapse when Allah's decree came to pass. Whether that would happen during the time of Dhul-Qarnayn or at the end of time, he left that matter to Allah's will. This message reflected the reality of the world's transient nature. The things we build and the powers we possess are temporary, and only Allah's will is everlasting. The Qur'an mentions that Dhul-Qarnayn built the wall as a mercy from Allah, and when the time comes, it will be leveled to the ground, reminding all of us of the impermanence of worldly achievements. The story of Dhul-Qarnayn carries numerous lessons, not just for rulers and kings, but for all who seek to understand the proper use of power and wealth. One of the key lessons is that wealth and resources are not to be used for self-aggrandizement or pride. Rather, they are gifts from Allah, entrusted to individuals to use wisely and for the betterment of humanity. Dhul-Qarnayn, despite his immense power, never allowed his position to corrupt him. Instead, he recognized that his power was a responsibility, not an entitlement, and he used it to serve the needs of others. His actions remind us that true leadership is not about domination or control, but about serving others with justice, integrity, and humility. Dhul-Qarnayn's story also emphasizes the importance of treating people with fairness and compassion, regardless of their social status or circumstances. Throughout his travels, he consistently chose to act with kindness, offering people the chance to reform and embrace righteousness. Even when he was faced with difficult decisions, whether to punish a people or show them mercy, he always sought to act justly, relying on Allah's guidance to make the right choices. Moreover, the story highlights the need for cooperation and mutual support in times of difficulty. Dhul-Qarnayn did not carry out the construction of the wall alone. He involved the people, asking for their help in gathering materials and labor. This collaboration was crucial in overcoming the challenges they faced and demonstrates the importance of working together for the common good. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure to like, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications, and comment down below your thoughts. Until next time, peace and blessings.